Good afternoon. It is 2:40 Monday, June 9th, and I hereby call to order the Budget Committee of the Memphis City Council. Ms. Mauricio, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Walker. Present. Councilman Ford Sr. Councilwoman Swearingen Washington.
Present.
Chair Carlisle.
Present. The chair observes a quorum. And Councilman Ford Sr., you are recognized as present and accounted for. Colleagues, we have three new resolutions for consideration today, and then we can go back into other old and new business. I will begin with resolution number 7. First off, if any members would like to make any statements or comments, seeing none, all right. We will go to item number 1 for today's consideration on new business. A resolution to amend the fiscal year 2026 operating budget to reallocate funds for a flat 3% raise for city employees and to move proposed XAI incentives to the general fund unassigned fund balance. This is sponsored by, I know I'm on, Councilwoman Walker as the lead sponsor, myself, Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, Councilman Ford Sr., and Councilwoman White. May I have a motion and a second to hear this item?
Second.
Moved by Ford, seconded by Vice Chair JSW. And I'm going to read for the record the last 3 resoluting items, and then I'm going to turn it over to the lead sponsor. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council hereby amends the operating budget for the fiscal year 2026 by 1, reallocating no more than $17,500,000 to support a 3% raise for all full-time city employees. 2, reducing the contribution to the city of Memphis's fund balance outlined in the mayor's proposed budget for the fiscal year 26 by $500,000, and 3, allocating $7,400,000 as a revised contribution to the city's fund balance. Be it further resolved that the Memphis City Council intends for the 3% salary increase authorized herein to serve as the governing adjustment for all full-time city employee compensation in the fiscal year 2026 budget, superseding any previously planned adjustments adopted this year or any prior fiscal years. Be it further resolved that the administration shall provide quarterly reports to the Memphis City Council detailing the allocation of 3% salary increase across all divisions to ensure equitable implementation. Following the final determination of the total cost of said increase, the administration shall also report the projected property tax revenues estimated at up to $5,500,000 associated with XAI Corporation X.AI Corporation doing business as XAI to be designated to the general fund unassigned fund balance. And be it further resolved that these budgetary amendments shall be incorporated into the fiscal year 2026 operating budget ordinance upon passage of this resolution. You made it. Whew. Councilwoman Walker, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Colleagues, today I bring forth a resolution that reflects both our responsibility to our employees and our accountability to the people that we serve. This resolution reasonably amends the FY26 budget by implementing a flat 3% raise for all full-time city employees, both represented and non-represented. This adjustment, capped at $17.5 million, will be funded by reducing the proposed contribution to the city's fund balance. Let's be clear. The reason this council is unable to adopt the impasse recommendations is because we simply cannot afford a full $39.1 million in total economic packages that were brought before us. That's $39 million in additional spending. And when the mayor represented a flat budget, it sent a clear message: the money isn't there. We respect and value our workforce, but we also have a duty to our residents, many of whom are already barely satisfied with the level of service that the city provides. We cannot approve agreements that would force layoffs, reduce services, and further strain public trust. This plan offers a fair raise across the board without compromising the integrity of service delivery. It also recommends that any future property tax revenue from the XAI project will be placed in the general fund unassigned balance. Why? Because that approach gives us flexibility. Tying ongoing operations to projected and uncertain revenue would be financially irresponsible. We don't have guarantees on that money yet. And putting anticipated funds into core operations could jeopardize our city's bond rating and financial stability. Lastly, in this resolution, the council is requiring the administration to return quarterly with reports showing how the 3% raise is being implemented equitably across all divisions. Once the final cost of that raise is determined, the administration must come back to present the projected property tax revenue expected from the XAI project. This is a measured and responsible path forward. It respects our workforce, protects essential services, and preserves the city's financial health. I respectfully ask for your support. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Walker. Well said. I've got Councilwoman White in the queue.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to make a motion for two friendly amendments. One is to take $400,000 previously allocated from the Family Safety Center of Memphis and Shelby County under S23000 Division Grants and Subsidies 0111 General Fund to be reallocated to Lemoyne-Owen College as a grant. And the second one is I would also like to add language requiring the administration to come before us at the second meeting of each month to report on revenue collections and expenditures from the Finance Division, simply so that we can determine where we are in collecting revenues and whether or not we're on target with our budget.
To the sponsor? Or would those be accepted as friendly?
Yes, I accept those as friendly. Thank you.
And also, Chair, if I may, I would like to also say, Councilwoman Walker, thank you so much for your hard work in trying to help us reach a compromise. Once I saw your resolution, I was very excited, impressed, and all of the things. So thank you so much for your hard work in presenting this resolution.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know in my years here that I've ever seen a second year term member take this much ownership of a significant budget, and I have a lot of respect and fully supportive of it. And I hope, look, I told Chief Hyman this morning on the phone, a good compromise is when you're not really happy about everything, but you're good with it. And I think that that's the beauty of these situations. And it's a tough year, and not everybody's going to be happy with it. But everybody needs to understand that a lot of work and a lot of thought and a lot of prayer went over how to treat everyone that is employed by the city, works for the city fairly and equitably, as you said, and how to make sure that citizens are getting the value. So I join my vice chair in saying thank you and fully supportive of it. Are there any other members in the queue wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, this item goes down. It's a favorable recommendation. Moving on to item number, no, I think we got 8 first. No, that was 8, sorry. It's today, Monday. I thought I had one from Councilwoman Easter Thomas, though, that came in. Okay, I thought we did too.
There's another one. No.
That's why I had 2 8. Sorry. All right. Before we go, all right, I'm going to read Councilwoman Easter Thomas. I think we did this, but I'm going to make sure just in case we didn't. Resolution to amend the fiscal year 2026 capital improvement program budget. I'm going to read the now therefore be resolved. Now therefore be it resolved, the Memphis City Council hereby amends the CIP for fiscal year 2026 by renaming the quote PK-TBD Community Center replacement to end quote project number titled PK-TBD end quote to the quote Douglas Community Center end quote for the fiscal year 2028. This line item shall be effective upon approval of this resolution and to be incorporated into the fiscal year 2026 budget ordinance. Be it further resolved that any allocation or readjustment from this line item to another project must receive prior approval by the Memphis City Council. This is sponsored by Councilwoman Michael and Easter Thomas. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor?
Motion.
Moved by White, seconded by Logan of several others. Councilwoman Easter Thomas, the floor is yours. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everybody. City of Memphis, Mayor Young, Chief Person. So our interim Parks Director, Marsha Allen, kept in our CIP budget line item, it's named PKTBD, Community Center Replacement 2. I always think TBD stands for Councilwoman Easter Thomas's district. With that, thank you. Some people got it, right? So with that, it was brought by Interim Director Allen that Douglas Community Center is well deserving and needing of a replacement. And we said, why not? So for FY28, which is the year 2027, summer 2027, right after the lovely Westwood Community Center is finished and grand open, there will be a new community center starting. They'll be in Douglas if you all are in approval of it. So asking for everyone's approval of that. It's already in CIP. It's just not named. So this is putting a name to it, a title to it. Following the great example of our Vice Chairwoman, Swearingen Washington, we got to go ahead and name these things so that we know what we're contributing to in our communities and our neighborhoods. And so I'm excited. And so will be the people of Douglas community.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Colleagues, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Seeing any opposed? Seeing none, this item goes down with favorable recommendation. All right, moving right along here. Item number 9, which I have already misplaced because Regala is doing her job and I'm not doing mine. Thank you, ma'am. All right. This is a resolution to amend the fiscal year 2026 operating budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the Memphis City Council hereby amends the operating budget for the fiscal year 2026 by reducing a total of $50,000 from the group life insurance and long-term disability lines 051308 and 051315, both within the 0111 general fund, and allocating those funds as grants as follows. $50,000 to senior citizen meals for a new FY 2026 proposed of $140,000. And then it says S150000 division dash Memphis Parks dash or backslash general fund. Be it further resolved that any excess funds shall be used to support other initiatives. Sponsored by Councilwoman Green. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item? Moved by Ford, seconded by White. Yes, please. Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. Guys, I screwed up big time. I just got in the zone. Mayor Young.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome to budget. I'm so sorry that I didn't recognize you. We got going. My bad. That is on me.
It's good.
All right, Mayor Young, the floor is yours.
Thank you all. I just wanted to ask on this one if it is okay if we could identify a location to find the $50,000 as opposed to the one that is outlined in terms of removing it from the group life insurance. If that, I think the will of the sponsor is to get the $50,000, and if we are allowed, we can come back with the appropriate line for it.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, so what I think I hear is, I'd entertain a motion to, what do you want to go? Yep.
Actually,
hold on, I think
we did find it.
Yeah, I think
so. The team had already talked about it.
Perfect.
So,
I think we got
an
amendment coming from the vice chair.
Yeah, she was gonna take it from family safety.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, could we take it from Family Safety Center? Chief Persons, if we could take it from Family Safety Center.
Walter Person, 125 North Main. Yes, ma'am. I think there are $50,000 left in the Family Safety Center, which would also be an alternative to the mayor's point. So I think either would be fine from the mayor's
So
point.
I've got a motion to strike from group life towards the end, strike and then we'll just clean it up. You guys can clean up the Scrivener side. So, but to replace basically the originating fund from group life and long-term disability to the Family Safety Center, we'll clean that up, and then we'll get it out, and it'll be ratified in tomorrow. So, yeah, I think it's good. Are there any objections to that? Assuming, okay. Are there any comments on this item? Questions? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor of sending this down to be ratified into the budget with a positive recommendation as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I too am an aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, this goes down with a favorable recommendation. All right, that is all I've got for new items. Are there members that would like to revisit any older resolutions? Or do I need to knock them? I mean, how are we running? That's it? Okay, all right. Well, short wrap up. We'll see everybody tomorrow. We've got regular committee beginning at 9:30. Who's that? Yeah, so I don't have a matter resolution. Usually I wouldn't do this, but because it's a large item and we've got the public, I'm gonna explain. One of the larger advocate groups and individuals asked about a matter resolution. I don't have a new business resolution, and nobody on the body wants to take up old business. So basically, MATA sits as proposed by the mayor under the resolution that was passed. So the only thing that has changed, and if I screw this up, come grab me. The only thing that has changed today, gosh, I hope I say this right. I got a bunch of pins out there. The mayor's proposed budget, as you saw it in April, is completely intact, except for one major item. As far as major things, is we've moved from a 5% raise to fire to a 3% raise to all city employees, which would adjust fire down 2% to 3%, and everybody else from wherever they were prior to impasses and all that stuff will go from 0, as the mayor proposed, up to 3%. MATA stays untouched, affordable housing stays untouched. We carved out a potential line for XAI, potentially in the general fund, but that's the major change today. All of this is published on the website. It's going up right now, and then tomorrow we meet again as a budget committee, and we have the third reading. So MATA is untouched at this point. So from the mayor's proposed budget, does that answer that question? I don't have, yeah, Mayor Young.
I do just want to make one clarification, and I think it can be made in the resolution. I think the line item had $5.5 million for XAI, and what that was showing was actually the unaccounted for portion of XAI proceeds. So I think that we should put the actual number, which is around $12 million, in so that it's very clear to the public what amount is intended to come. But we'll work to make sure we clean up that resolution. I just wanted to make sure that was stated on the record.
Yeah, we'll get all that cleared up. And again, this is a budget committee. Tomorrow we have a budget committee meeting. We have our executive meeting, and we still have our main meeting. So we'll get all of this cleaned up and published. All of these resolutions are published. The resolution number 3, which I think is what you're referencing, that was originally brought several weeks ago, is that, yeah. Right now, that has been superseded with an affirmative vote. And all of this really, if I'm being honest, are guidance documents to implement into the actual wrap-up tomorrow. So we have 24 hours, and tomorrow anybody could amend from the floor with 7 votes. So, but as far as where we are today and going into tomorrow, here's the major change. The XAI portion and the salaries portion. Pretty much everything else just stayed intact in the mayor's budget. We didn't move revenues much at all. Yeah, we didn't move revenues, projected revenues. We didn't change line items. We didn't, so, yeah. I will, well, I'm going to answer one more question, then I'll answer all your questions after I get us out of here, because this is unusual, but you're down here a long time, so I want to be cognizant of that. At any time, as I've learned in my time down here, anything is possible when we meet in the full. At 4 p.m., any member, when this item comes up, when the budget ordinance comes up for a vote, can make motions to amend or do whatever they want, as long as they've got 6 other affirmative votes to do that. Sometimes it's a simple majority, but because this is a budget ordinance, it requires 7 affirmative votes. So to pass it. So that's the answer to your question is yes, theoretically. I wouldn't imagine a major cut coming. But I'll take any other questions. I'll stay back and I'll answer questions you guys have. Do any other members have any other questions or comments before I get us out of there? Oh, hello. Let the record show that I've got Councilwoman Cooper Sutton here, and Chairman Canale and Dr. Easter Thomas are all here as well. Seeing none, we are adjourned. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. Councilwoman Walker.
Regarding the resolution, I just want to thank everyone. It was definitely a team effort, and I just wanted everyone to know that. Thank you all